you're coming to respond to these questions, because we're going to defer this question. Next time you're coming, for purposes of responding to these questions, NLC will have to come along with you. Of course, the committees can do their work as you have suggested. They can summon NLC, but for purposes of responding to questions, they have to know that we can only do that through the parent ministry and through the parent CS, that is you. So we're going to defer these questions and to a later time. We will now move to...
Honorable Speaker,
yes.
If you can indulge me, I did not say that they have declined to give me the information. And I did not say that they are hiding behind the independence. It's factual that they are an independent commission. And the reason that they were given that space is so that the executive does not overreach. During my vetting, Honorable Speaker, I was even accused of not having a good relationship with them, which is not true. I was also accused to want to take their mandate through some amendments we had proposed. What I am the one who is saying the Senate is giving me or requesting the information from the wrong person, and there is another route that the Senate can get the same information, and I am not directing how this work should be done. All I'm saying is that, let me finish, because you know you will not force me to give information. I would rather that the first priority is given to the owners of the information, Speaker. So
you cannot put a point of order again as a CS on the vote, unless you want clarification and intervention. Yes, Senator Sifuna.
Chair, I'm a bit surprised because CS is a former member of this House. She knows very well that once a ruling has been made by the chair, she cannot argue with the decision of the chair. And therefore, I know you said I cannot raise on a point of order, but she's totally out of order. You have made a decision that we, in this House, interact with the head of the ministry. Whatever arrangements he has with the National Land Commission on how to source information, that is none of our business. The person who will appear there to answer is the Cabinet Secretary responsible for matters of land. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Bonnie.
For the record, let it reflect that the Minister of Lands, who is my friend, is actually an advocate. And she's conversant with the Constitution of Kenya. Could she fall back to the provision of Article 35 of the Constitution of Kenya that will help her to access the information that we are looking for, and then climb down a little bit, Mr. Speaker, and subject herself to being answerable to this House? Minister, as a senior member of government, equally because I'm also a senior member of government, we are expected to make it easy for government to deliver. And therefore, when either the Speaker or the Minister then becomes argumentative and defensive, could the Minister clarify what she is defending? All we want is information, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I propose that you direct the Minister to go back and come back with a proper question, nothing less.
Now, Honorable CS, I think I've already made a determination on this matter. Now, just have your seat, Honorable CS. Just have your seat. We want to help you navigate this this matter. Now, you did very well, because immediately you got the question, you wrote to NLC to provide the information, to provide you with the information that is required by Parliament. But NLC has not responded to your letter. Had they responded to your letter, today you'll be giving us that information. So don't take a blame where you know the person to really blame. Because one, you did the right thing. You got this question from the Senate. You wrote to NLC for NLC to provide the necessary information and respond to the question. NLC decided not to. Now, as a Senate, this is what we have advised you, that you're not meddling in the affairs of NLC by seeking this information from NLC. And NLC, if you're
question, then join that meeting.
Trevor, we'll move to question number, that is question number 098, Honorable CS. You may proceed to ask the question.
Most appreciated, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, could the Cabinet Secretary disclose the current holders of the title deeds for the parcels of land in Kamkunji constituency registered as follows? Number 1, IR number 36/VII/1031, on which the Isili Social Hall stands. Number 2, LR number 36/V11/1031, brackets 619/33, which was designated for use as the Isili Open Air Market. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, LR number 209. /12/2, bracket.
Proceed to respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The question is in in 3 parts, and then the answer that I'm providing this morning, Honorable Speaker, is that in regard to question 5.1 and 5.2, I request for more time to be able to provide a comprehensive response, because I cannot find some of my records, so I'm not able to bring the information. I need more time. I have already assigned the relevant department to comb through all our records to see whether we can get the necessary files. Then we have number 3, Roman 3. I wish to respond as follows. I think I have given a long statement there. Certificate title number IR LR 209/1712, original number 1042 and 1041, being a portion of the premises comprised in a grant dated 21st of May 1929, is located in the city of Nairobi, measuring approximately 0.34436 of an acre, for a term expiring on 1st of August 2024, and for an annual rent of the amount stated there, 720, and we've given Annexure 5 a copy of that title. The land was initially registered in favor of John Herbert Turner on March 1, 1929. The registered proprietor charged the property, and a charge instrument was registered on 2nd of December 1930. Later, on 11th of May 1931, the property was discharged and a transfer was registered in the name of Ferdinandis, and Annexure 4 speaks to that transfer. Honorable Speaker, on 27th of January 1933, this property was transferred to Kenya Loan and Discount Limited for a consideration amount of 10,000, but that was in 1933. Thereafter, October 23rd, 1942, a transfer via the public auction of said property to Alan Rakea and Mohammed Sharif, both sons of Nizam Din of Nairobi, and Firoz Din and Azin Din, both sons of Haji Faten Din of Nairobi, as tenants in common in equal shares. Annexure 5 has the transfer by public auction and, as evidence. Honorable Speaker, then on 26th of November 1996, a decree by civil case number 3279 of 1994 originating summons was registered against the title, and on November 17, again 1997, a vesting order or transfer was registered transferring this land to Shauri Moyo Furniture Makers Cooperative Society, freed from all encumbrances, and Annexure 6 speaks to that court order. Subsequently, then a provisional certificate of title was issued in favor of the cooperative society, Shauri Moyo Furniture Makers Cooperative Society Limited, in 1998, 14th of May. Honorable Speaker, then on 22nd of May 2002, another vesting order was issued transferring the land to several persons, that is Francis Garoya Joroge, Stephen Joroge Irongo, Josephat Mutuku Musembi, Stephen Mwangi Kemani, and Stephen Kamau Mochiri as trustees for themselves and the other plaintiffs as tenants in common in equal shares. And we have also attached Annexure 7, being the court order. Several other court orders were registered emanating from the same suit up to and including 9th of March 2015, restraining order and prohibiting all dealings, and that order is dated 23rd of October 2019, sorry, and then and this was registered against the said title. Honorable Speaker, on May 25th of March, on May 25th, 2022, for a consideration of 130 million, this land was transferred to Mirage Supply and Contractors Limited. And since then, this property has not changed hands. My record shows that it is currently in the name of Mirage, and I think unless there is any other question, that question is fully answered.
Honorable Sifuna.
CS, with regards to the first two parts of my question, you have indicated that you need more time. Perhaps you could just indicate how much time you need for us to get these responses. And you have confirmed to me that the cooperative society actually sold this land themselves to a private entity. Now, Chair, I have a follow-up question. The last time that the CS was before this House, on the 27th of March 2024, we had a conversation here, and I was very happy with what she said regarding revocation of the title of the land on which Tomboya Social Hall sits. I took the initiative, Honorable Speaker, to write to the CS. In fact, when she was here, she promised us that she would be revoking the title that had been given to a private developer and returning that land to the Nairobi City County on behalf of the people of Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, on the 8th of April 2024, I wrote to the Cabinet Secretary responsible for land because even after her pronouncements, we could see that there was still development going on at the property. And she wrote back to me on the 13th of May 2024, saying that she's following up, and in fact, that she was still, the position of the ministry was that that title was going to be revoked. So now that she's here, and she had made that promise before this House, I would want her to give the House an update on the process of revocation of the title that had been issued to a private developer over the land on which Tomboya Social Hall sits. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable CS.
The first question supplementary to that is how much time I need. Sometimes it's quite difficult because I would, when a file is removed from its usual place, then it becomes a bit difficult to tell how much time you will need. But possibly we can work with another 30 days. We can work with another 30 days. And maybe the Honorable Senator, if you have some details in respect of those parcels, you could give me for purposes of reconstruction, because if I cannot get my file, then I would be able to get useful assistance by any document that speaks to the title for purposes of reconstruction. So 30 days, we are working hard to get the file. Then the last one is on Tomboya. It is true, I think after my pronunciation, my statement to this plenary, my office started working on the revocation process. It is a process that requires at least maybe about 90 days to 4 months, because one, you have to write to the holders of that title and call for it. We've already done that. But before we could proceed with gazettement of the need to revoke, we were served with the proceedings of the High Court. I believe, Honorable Senator, you are aware. The case number, I had asked for, there is an order for status quo, but I'm still looking at ways of fulfilling what I stated on this floor. But there is a court order. These people have gone to court. They are not relenting, but the position of the ministry is that whichever way, this property is not transferable because it's a secured and preserved space for town hall. So whichever, and we have already filed sub-statements to court to respond to that effect. So in my view, the property is still secure. The court order was bar. This case number in the Environment and Land Court 0E053 of 2024, filed by Ngami Properties Limited against the minister and the cabinet secretary. Rather, the status. The order was issued on that day, and this is maybe what is relevant, that there shall be a status quo, and we can maybe forward this. It is part of the annexures. If it is not, I will forward a copy of this order, Honorable Speaker, for record, for purposes of record.
Thank you. So 30 days to get the response on the first limb of your question. Now, Senator Abraham Miraji, do you have any supplementary question? Where is she? Senator Ngatana, you have any supplementary question?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you again for giving me this opportunity to interrogate. Mr. Speaker, the first and second questions with regard to Eastleigh open air market and Eastleigh social hall, the minister has asked for more time and indicated 30 days. Now, that brings the further question, because what we know is that the ministry spent a lot of resources to digitize lands records. And in fact, at some point, the ministry had indicated that Nairobi had been completed. So we just want to know what is the status as far as that about looking for a file not being in its place. What does it mean? Does it mean the whole program failed, or what is exactly the status of the digitization program? Because resources were spent, assurances were given, and now it seems we've gone back to the same many years we used to have files getting lost. Maybe the minister can clarify. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavindu.